I'm Jason Chichi, and I'm the director of MovieMaker at SHU Community Theater. Today, we are talking to some of our Session 1 movie makers. We have Casey, as you can see, and Sienna. They are two of our filmmakers who work together to write a script. And I want to chat with them today about the inspiration and what it felt like to actually see the things that they wrote on the page come to life on the screen. So you both wrote, I think, the only parody of a show we've ever shot in MovieMaker history.
Yeah, we did a horror parody of Martha Stewart's Cooking Network.
Right.
Yeah, the whole thing was like, she was putting all these ingredients in, and she was like rhubarb leaves and
oleander flower and caps.
So you had to do some research to see what ingredients are poisonous.
Yeah.
She got notifications from Google telling her to stop.
Yeah, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah, so what was the inspiration? Like, where did you come up with the idea?
Casey got the inspiration from the kitchen, right?
Yeah, we were walking around, and I was hearing all these things about, like, horror films, and I was like, I should keep that in mind. And I saw the kitchen, and I was like, who does cooking shows? And I was like, Martha Stewart. And she did tax fraud. So I was like, so she has a bad side. So what about horror?
So you kind of leaned into the dark side of what you thought Martha Stewart was like, but you were inspired by the kitchenette in the office, or in the green room.
Yeah.
When we took a tour of the whole place, that's a place that spoke to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with this idea that she might poison one of her stepchildren?
That just came into my brain, to be honest. I don't know.
So what was it like to actually to shoot it?
It was really interesting because Casey was the director and I was production assistant for the day. So it was really interesting seeing how everything was working together, how we would have like one camera have the view and then one camera doing close-ups and stuff.
Yeah, it really looked like a cooking show.
It really felt like a cooking show.
Yeah.
And then doing the boom mic and stuff.
Yeah, and your film was prop heavy too. You realize production design, you have to have a lot of things necessary to make your film work.
Casey brought in an actual knife.
Especially because it was a cooking show, you need food for that. So it was kind of like we had 3 takes for the lettuce, or else we really couldn't do anything. But part of that did make it, like, it was a lot more fun that way, because it was like, we get to plan this. We get to see your take on it first. Like any other film, but, like, part of it was, like, the direness was kind of like, we're going to get through this quickly.
Yeah,
we don't have to
that's
worry
what indie filmmaking's like. You just keep going. Was it surprising to you when we made the movie?
Yes, definitely.
What was surprising about making it?
Well, we all had so many ideas for this character, because, like, she's a fictional character, but she is based on a real person.
Right.
She's a really funny character. There were just so many opportunities on what you could do with her.
Yeah. So I remember when we were in there, this Sarah, she was like, what if we get this boom mic and we make a character named Jeremy who gets into the frame a lot?
Right, you did that right on the spot. That wasn't in your script, right?
I loved that part.
I really liked it. I was doing Jeremy, so I was behind the camera, and it was actually very hard to be holding it up.
Yeah.
But it was very funny seeing Ethan yell at me, Jeremy!
You create things right on the spot in filmmaking, right? Like, so you said Sarah had this suggestion and you kind of incorporated it into your script, right?
Yeah, we made a new ending of it where she's Martha, a little spoiler, she's looking at her child with a knife, and then all of a sudden the boom gets in the fight, and she's like, oh my gosh, Jeremy!
So you even added dialogue and everything for that to make that all that work. So had you made movies before, either of you?
Kind of. Like, me and my friend were really into Dance Mom, so we recreated that. Me and another person, we made a self-defense video. It was not that realistic, but we tried.
But it was fun?
Yeah,
How about
it was
you,
really fun.
I've never made a film or anything before, but I've been on sets before.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So was it what you thought it was going to be like to make a movie, or what was surprising about it?
It was very different for me because like I had been on set before like as a visitor, but it was just like me like sort of sitting in the back and watching.
Yeah.
Being actually up close and interactive with it was very interesting because there were just so many like moving parts.
There
Like
sure are.
with the cooking, like we only had 3 takes for the lettuce. We only had 1 take for the tofu, and there were just so many parts where I was like, oh my goodness, like we need to get this done. We need to make it perfect.
Yeah, you can see why there are so many people who work on a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was surprising for you, Casey?
When I thought of the idea, I thought it was way easier food.
And it was more difficult in the end?
It was more difficult, but it was definitely worth it.
Had to drain the tofu in the bathroom to
Yeah,
get rid
there
of
are all
all
these
the
little
liquid.
things that you don't think about when you're writing something, and then when you're actually in the situation, things can be a little bit more complicated.
Yeah. I thought the tofu was already like squared up and cut up. Turns out it wasn't. Thank God Ethan still went on, the actor of Martha Stew, and cut it up. Because I did not want to do another take of that.
Michelle Stew.
So do you think that you will go on to make films? Are you interested in learning more about filmmaking?
I am, most definitely. Like, I have family members in the industry, and I really enjoy seeing how they put these together, and I would really be interested in going on to continue doing directing and writing.
Really? Okay. And what about you, Casey?
I definitely am very curious, and I'm very glad that I got to learn. I definitely want to do acting. I'll probably do some other things in my life with art, definitely. It's really opened my mind.
Well, great. I hope it inspired you to be storytellers in some way, shape, or form. Well, thank you for joining me today. I'm Jason Chichi, director of MovieMaker. Please come back for our next episode of the MovieMaker podcast.